Hi YouTube, please give me a moment while I go live on Facebook. We'll be getting started in just a second. And we should be live on Facebook. Hi everybody, welcome to another weekly video of the Strategic Swing Trader. I hope you are doing well. I am Sami Abu Saad, Director of Education at T3 Live. Let's go ahead and get started, but first we have to do the disclaimer. We have to share with you the standard required disclaimer to let you know that trading is risky and that whatever we discuss is for educational purposes only. If you'd like to download a copy of my free ebook, link for that is in the description. But without further ado, let's get started. We're going to talk about the market, and then we'll talk about some amazing swing ideas for next week. Okay? So if you find benefit in today's video and you'd like to help support the T3 Live channel, please be sure to hit the like button. That helps us out a lot. Now we're going to talk about the market. And I know the market is at the all-time highs. This is the daily chart of the SPY. But as the color of my t-shirt shows, I am really bearish. It's red. I think we're in a bubble. I think we're about to collapse. I'm totally kidding with you. I have a green t-shirt under it. We are really bullish. We've been hearing these people say, oh, we're really bearish for the past 20 years, and respectable people like Jimmy Rogers and the like. But the market is obviously, that's green, by the way, if you can't see it. I messed up my hair. But what's going on? And I'm drinking a green smoothie. That should tell you how bullish I am. The market is at the all-time highs and is really bullish. Now, I did say the last couple of weeks, I've been saying that the market has lost the momentum. And that is true. When the market is really bullish, you will see a 45-degree rising 20 MA. Okay, 45 degree, that's the blue line on the chart. That means it's really bullish. When it starts to flatten out, I don't know what it looks like on the weekly chart. It's still pretty bullish on the weekly. But on the daily, it kind of went sideways for a month. What I like about the market going forward is that we got, it tried to break down like it did here and there. But this time, the 20 MA captured price. It halted it from continuing lower. And you can see it maybe even clearer on the Qs, which is the NASDAQ, obviously, right? So this time it tried to break under that 20 MA, and the curling rising 20 MA halted the price, captured the price, and I think from here on out we should be pretty bullish. Now, after a wide range bar, we typically get a narrow range bar. It's not, that's not always the case. So I wouldn't be surprised if tomorrow, Monday, the 7th, we got a narrow range bar. That's still bullish. And the market, the SPY's at the all-time highs. I think the Qs is going to be playing catch up. A lot of the, like Microsoft, a lot of the big tech companies popped pretty good on Friday. So I think the Qs is going to catch up to the SPY. And the IWM has been basing for a long time. At some point is going to break out. So as soon as we take this out, that should lead to a break to new highs on the IWM. So I was just joking about the t-shirt. I am totally bullish. There's no reason to be bearish. Trust me, I'm the most bearish guy you'll ever meet when the market turns bearish. In fact, that's when I have my best days, probably, because the volatility goes up big time when we start crashing. And I enjoy the volatility. I know what to do. But right now, the market is just simply really bullish, okay? Now, if we were to talk about Bitcoin, and I have the chart of Bitcoin up here on the daily chart, okay, that is bearish. It's very sloppy, by the way, but it's bearish. If we were to, so I should maybe put my red t-shirt back on when I talk about Bitcoin. By the way, Ether, I wasn't going to talk about Ether, but what the heck. Ether has an entry, short or long, depending on which way it triggers, over about $2,900, $2,913 to be exact. That's a breakout. Under 25.25 right here, that's a short, a breakdown. So whichever way it triggers, it looks good. And also Doge coin looks not too bad over 40 cents. If it takes out 40 cents, that's like the Qs, right? The 20 MA should halt Dogecoin from continuing lower, but it needs to take out 40 cents first. So that's an entry long. If it breaks under 35, that's an entry short. But I checked on Kraken. I have an account, and it's not. I'm not signed in, and it's not available to short anyway. So I would only be playing it. I'm going to play it long if it takes out 40 cents. Okay, so I can't play it short. But at any rate, let's go back to equities and take a look. So we talked about the market. I said I was bullish. Let's take a look at the individual plays and see what's setting up. If you'd like to just copy and paste the list instead of having to type it up, I already copied and pasted it myself into the description of the video. Okay, so just go to the description, copy it, and let's go over it together. Bullish and bearish list. We got ACAD. ACAD, just as a disclaimer, is already an open position. I called it last week, it was just Thursday probably, and it triggered. And it looks higher still though, over 23.75. I like it higher to maybe 26 bucks or so. That base right here, that's going to be resistance, and it just might get to the prior high around 30 bucks. But the first area of resistance is definitely around 26 or so. Okay, so ACAD like higher. CCIV, it's a little bit late because I like to enter when the stock is just at or near the 20. So this is a little bit late, but it looks higher over 24.60. And notice the big base here. So over the base, or triple pivot basically, triple top, long to 32 on the CCIV. A stop would be just right here, okay? So under the green bars low, which is 21.64 on the CCIV. CCJ is just, I mean, the ultimate bullishness. So bullish, 45-degree rising 20, like we said. I like it. I would have liked it more if the base was a bit longer, so that it was breaking out off the 20. But it still looks good as long as you give it a big stop. I mean, as long as you give it room. Don't be too tight, because it's not such a long base. It's a short base. But I still like it higher. CDEV was in last week's video as a breakout. It broke out already, and it still looks higher over the I don't know. I don't want to call it double top, but over the two pivots, higher stop right here. Okay, on the CDEV, CPG. Wow, all these C's. CPG is like a 1, 2, 3. I mean 1, 2, 3, 4. Bar 1 being the igniting bar, and the last two bars were narrow range bars, resting bars. So over 486 long, stop under 469. Now this is not my favorite idea, but it's really bullish. I already picked my favorites, and I updated the newsletter for tomorrow. It will, if you're a subscriber, obviously it'll hit your inbox before 8 o'clock East Coast time. Or if you'd like to log on to your T3 Live account to see which plays I picked, then feel free to do so right now. It's already updated and finalized. All right? And because I'm not going to be able to play all of these, and not all of them are perfect, so I try to focus on the best ones. CTXR is a long-term idea. Notice the monthly is just breaking out. So this is a long-term idea. Long over 243. No, over 252. Stop under, we can use probably a tighter stop like right here. Stop under 220. And again, it's a long-term idea based on that monthly chart. And could it get to $5? Sure, I think so, easily. Could it get to maybe 10? Maybe, I don't know. But it looks good on the monthly chart. CVS has a buy setup. This is just a swing trade. And the entry for it is over 37.30. Stop under 85.60. Target is $90. It's a beautiful buy setup, daily buy setup. GM, bullish as it gets, is a 1, 2, 3 on the daily chart. So entry over 63.88. Stop under 62.39. And then I'll just ride it for as long as it goes. It's a multi-year high. Let's take a look at the GM. I mean, wow. It's at all-time high. There's no way it's at all-time high. But on this chart, I guess I'm going back to 2010. I'd have to add more data to be able to go further back. I don't think it's at all-time high, but I just want to double check. Well, based on this chart, it is. So is it because they re-emerged or something from bankruptcy? I don't know, because I don't have any more data going back, past 2010. But at any rate, it's really, really bullish. And I like it higher. Oops. I like it higher over Friday's high on the GM. Let's fix the chart a little bit. Okay. Next on the list is HRL. What happened to the charts? Okay, there we go. So HRL is a long-term idea also, but it's not going to move that much. Look at the monthly chart. It's a monthly pullback to the rising 20. It looks beautiful. If you look at the weekly, we have like a 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4. So long over right here, stop right here, and then this is a long-term play. I wouldn't even manage it actively. Remember Facebook when I called it a couple of weeks ago? I said I wouldn't manage it actively. I'm not managing it. So I'm just letting it go. So the same with the HRL. I like it over $50. Stop under 48. That's a $4 stop, and as a very long-term idea. Okay. INSE is a base breakout. It's a little bit on the thin side. It doesn't do a lot of volume. I like it higher over 1260. Stop under 1160. It's just a base breakout. The LNTH is almost exactly the same. We had an igniting professional gap up this day. The LNTH had a similar gap, but that day it was on the 27th. This was on the 26th, the next day. Look at that. And it has a similar base on the daily chart. Over the base, stop under it as a breakout. So I like it. LNTH and INSE. MMLP is pretty thin as a breakout on the daily chart, but really I like it more as a long-term play. This is similar to the CTXR. That's the monthly time frame, and it's breaking out. And if you look at the, what was it? The MMLP, similar. It's oil also. Oil has been so hot, so bullish. So this looks higher, over 290 or so. And then target, I mean, who knows, $10 maybe? Could, you know, or initially maybe $5, $5.60. And then it could get to, on the second half, the back half, $12.70. So it has plenty of room. MRO's oil also. Like it over 14.16 with a stop under 13.50. Okay, so over 14.16 by 13.50. Now there are other oil stocks that look even better, but they've already triggered. SM, for example, was on last week's video. I'm in it, so that's kind of already late, but it still looks higher. So there's a lot of other oil stocks that look really good, but I'm trying to share with you the ones that I think still have good entries. ODT is similar to the ACAD. It's a base breakout on the daily chart. It needs to take out 84, 80, I don't know what it, 84. So over 384 with a stop under 340. This base right here is 340, 341. You can also, you know, one can also put the stop under this bar, which is 349 or so, 54. So just over 384 by 354, or safer yet would be under 340 as a daily breakout. Okay, on the ODT, a PRTK already in it. It's an open play for the newsletter from last week sometime, and I still like it as an add and reduce, meaning you add more shares and raise the stop over $10 if it can take out $10, but it doesn't look quite ready to pop over 10 because price is right now under the 20 MA on the hourly chart, but I still like it higher. SLCA is another long-term idea. So we talked about the CTXR being long-term idea. We talked about the HRL. We talked about MMLP being long-term rather than swing. Swing is when you're doing it for just a few days, from 2-3 days to 10 days. That's swing. Long-term is when you're looking to hold the play for weeks or even months. And so those are the 4 long-term ideas. SLCA is very sloppy on the daily chart, but check out that monthly. Similar to the other ones that I showed you, the MMLP and the CTXR, recently broke out and is now doing a pullback. And so I like it on the monthly over 1260. Stop under 893 on the monthly chart. Probably one can use the daily to use a tighter stop. So here's the entry, here's the stop, or maybe the stop can be, we can use this as a stop, but of course the odds of getting shaken out of it increase. I mean, is very high when you cheat the stop, when you use a tighter stop than what you should. And so as a long-term idea, over 1260 or so, stop under 893. Okay, big stop, but long-term play. WU, Western Union. I don't know how this thing still exists today, but look at that weekly chart. Isn't that beautiful? It is. It really is. Nice pullback to the rising 20. It doesn't have a ton of room. I mean, it doesn't have a lot of room to move up. That's just like $1 plus, maybe $1.50. Yeah, $1.50. It's at 25. The prior pivot high is at 26.50, 60. But I like it higher on the weekly chart. So the entry for this would be over, let's take a look at the daily, which is where I get most of my entries from, over this bar's high, which is Thursday's high, over 25.32. The secure stop, the most secure stop would be right here. But that would make for a large stop. A smaller stop, tighter stop, would be under Friday's low. So entry would be over Friday's high if it takes it out, so 25.33. Stop under 24.74. Okay. Last but not least is X. X doesn't seem to be quite ready, but it's just a really, really bullish stock right now. X. So looks higher to $35 or so. I like it over the base, which is $27, the whole number. Stop under 24.95. So it's $2.05. It's a big stop, but I don't think it's quite ready. But it's a good watch. The shorts, I know it's a long list this week. CARA as a short. It doesn't look so great on the daily chart because the moving average is pointing up, the 20 period moving average. But on the hourly, it sure looks good. See that base? So under the base, the last few days or so, 3 days, 4 days, stop above. Okay, so it's under 12.95 short, and the stop would be over 13.40. CARA is a little bit spready, so be careful. A coin. This thing is been nothing but a disaster since they went public, and now has a sell setup. It already triggered on Thursday when it broke under the base, but I didn't get it, and now has a 1, 2, 3. So under 227.50, stop over 233.36 as a short, and the target would be 208, the all-time low. Now let's see what Bitcoin does between now and the open on Monday. And that will tell us what coin will do, Coinbase. But it looks lower to me. GOCO was on last week's list also, but it didn't trigger. And now looks good under the base right here. Stop over 1140. Okay, is that 1140? Yeah, 1140. So entry would be under the base, which is 1095, 97. Stop over 1140. I don't, if the stock, unless it's like a really liquid stock like GSAT and it's low priced, I don't normally go to the lowest point and just put my entry 1 penny below it. I give it a couple cents below it to make sure I don't get tagged by 1 or 2 pennies because the stock might be a little bit spready. So I give it a little bit of room unless it is super liquid and has absolutely no spread. Look at, for example, GSAT. Low priced, no spread, it does a ton of volume. This day it did 120 million. And even on Friday, it still did, is that 31 or 35 million shares. So, I mean, look, it's very, very liquid. No problem using, just putting the entry, for me at least, 1 penny below the prior bar's low. So under 114, I like it lower. Stop over 125. Target, 90 cents or so, 85. The 200 MA and the prior pivot low. On the GSAT, IOVA, it looks good but only if it breaks 1738. Stop would be over 1833. So it's about $1 stop. Target 1 would be the prior low, and target 2 would have to be managed. It's it's making multi-year low, so it has plenty of room to fall to $9, I think. On the IOVA, NOVN is a nice base breakdown. I don't know if that's going to be available or not. I haven't checked. We'd have to check before the open on Monday. Short under the base and then stop above it. Looks lower. I mean, it has plenty of room to drop to $5. So it has room to $5 basically before it gets to any kind of support. So I like the NOVN short under the base with a target at around $5. Real has a sell setup. So it's not the best because I don't like them to take out the 20. Notice how it's took out the 20. I like them to stay below the 20 when I'm looking to short. So it took it out already, but it's going to go back below it if it actually triggers, if it takes out 1678. So under 1678 with a stop over 1873, that's about $1. Not quite, it's about 90 cents actually. And target the prior low, which is $13. SPLK had a bearish gap down on Thursday, had a narrow range bar on Friday, and is now set up as a 1, 2, 3. One thing I don't like about SPLK, two things actually. One is it's still at support. I would have liked it more if it was below this wide range green bar, below support. And the other thing is, notice how the 20 is going through price. That's what I call a meandering 20. I like it when the 20 is on the other side of price, like so. So when that happens, it means it's a little bit sideways. Doesn't have that bearish momentum basically, but I still like it short with a stop above, okay, on the SPLK. And last but not least is the TIRX. That had a secondary gap on Thursday, secondary offering, but I like it short under 722. And this one is wild. Stop over 813, so it's a 90 cents, call it a $1 stop. And then target, who knows, could go to zero, who knows, really. It's at all-time low. Notice how the stock dropped from $100 just a couple months ago. Yeah, 2 months, not even 2 months ago. And in one day, it went from $98, $97.92 to $12. This is why you don't get married to stocks. It might be the best. It might be, you might think this is my baby. This is the best stock in the world. But if the stock shows you otherwise, proves to you otherwise, you have to absolutely be detached from it, or detach from it, and detach your emotions from it, and let it go, okay? Because that's what happens. Sometimes they crash and they turn out to be another Enron or whatever it is, right? So you have to always be objective and just understand that stocks are, I mean, you can't get your emotions involved in them. You have to trade them objectively. All right. With that said, I hope you enjoyed today's video. I thank you for sticking around until the end. And again, if you found benefit in today's video, I would appreciate it if you hit the like button. That helps us out a lot. If you have any questions, would like to reach out, info@t3live.com. Again, email us at info@t3live.com. Thank you so much. Best of luck next week, and I will talk to you next weekend. Take care, everybody. Ciao.